Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So I'm Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4 hour, as you can see, we sold off from this 409 yesterday. Had a nice bounce. Initially got supported by our support level. A bounce basically about halfway the range of the move down, which is pretty textbook in itself. We've talked about that a lot in the past, about how moves will retrace halfway, and then if they get over halfway, we often see the full retrace and beyond, or they get rejected and then we come back down and take out the low and carry on downwards. So that at present is what is looking like is happening. You can see we've closed this candle below this horizontal support, below these candle closes, and we have also wicked below this low. So this obviously is downward posturing. The next target for support is pretty much the 60k level, and then down to the 58k level. So are we just seeing some sideways to down consolidation in the market? Maybe that's what's happening here, and that's perfectly healthy, perfectly fine to see. I was saying basically 62k consolidating, holding above 62k was ultimately the most bullish scenario, but not necessarily the most likely, but just would have been the best for the bulls. But that doesn't look like it's going to happen. So it looks like as long as we're going to resume this medium term, we're going to continue with this medium long term uptrend, which I don't see any reason why we won't. We are just going to come back and find a nice level to base from. So could that be 60k? Could that be 58k? Could we come back down and test this trend line? Maybe even this horizontal if we pull it across. I don't know why it always goes onto that. Maybe this horizontal, or even I don't see it happening. But well, one thing I've learned about crypto is that often things I don't see happen. But also, could we even come down to 52? Obviously, there's no predictions here. We are just gonna we just play it level by level. We break a level, we target the next one. We get support at that one, we target the previous one. I mean, that's how we can keep it simple. Make our life a lot easier than if we are drawing trend lines all over the place. Non-horizontal trend lines, that is. Clearly we've got lines all over the place. But yeah, realistically we are seeing where the dust settles. We've obviously had a big week. It is also Friday as well. So I mean, not that I don't particularly think Coinbase is very important in driving Bitcoin's price action so much. It's obviously important on a shorter term basis. So what I kind of think is that, okay, Coinbase is going to be not trading this weekend, so are we going to think, oh, people are going to take risk off because Coinbase is not trading over the weekend? I don't really think it is going to be a tail wagging the dog scenario. I think Bitcoin is still the dog that is going to be wagging the tail. And I don't think we need to work as big an event as it was in the short term, in like this week, the past few weeks building up to it. I don't think the Coinbase IPO direct listing is as important to crypto as some people may think. And it will soon be sort of just be one of those things that just gets driven by what the price of Bitcoin does, not really what the Coinbase price does driving the price of Bitcoin. But anyway, got that off my chest. The only real reason I was saying that is just because obviously Coinbase is not going to be trading over the weekend, but Bitcoin is. So that was it really. That was the only the angle I was coming from. Anyway, over to our more important chart, our Ethereum Bitcoin chart, still looking very good and holding this. Holding basically, this is a whole rejection resistance range, and we're actually holding the actual very top of it. So this is particularly bullish. This is looking particularly good for a pretty serious move in this asset now. So yeah, it's not going to play out over today, tomorrow, this weekend. It may take a few weeks. I mean, even if it was pretty aggressive and we met it at this point, we're still basically talking the end of next month. But we could ebb and flow our way onwards and upwards. I mean, we could see something like we get to here, we pull back, we get back to the this point here, and then pull back to the trend line, and then break above here. And you know how charts work. They meander around. You know how price action is. But yeah, we could see that as we make our way. But what that would mean is obviously this let's just not shift. Let's extend this. Extend and pretend. This obviously could then be coming in at a higher level. Not could, but would, obviously, because it is upward sloping. So yeah, we could then even be having higher targets for this Satoshi pairing for Ethereum. So yeah, looking potentially looking on like we're at the start of a of that run to $8,000 end of year target for Ethereum that I'm going to keep saying, and it's obviously going to happen because I'm just going to keep saying it until it happens, basically. You know how it is. If you deserve it, the universe will serve it. So yeah, you can see our dollar pairing easing off a little bit. Pretty much hit 2,500, a nice round sort of round 2,500, pulling off a little bit. Pretty much we ran into a 4-hour 9, sold off on that 9. So we're going to get picked up here and continue onwards and upward potentially. I mean, you can see we're going to have to draw some new horizontals. The top of this 9 where we did see some sideways to down price action. It's like an interesting level for us to have. Well, we've already been supported at it once, but yeah, see if we hold this. If not, then yeah, I mean we have got lower levels to target here. I could potentially draw a horizontal in here, but we won't convolute the chart. We'll extend these along every time. Do I need to click on that and then it won't do it? Is that what it is? Probably is. It probably is that. But yeah. We've obviously got targets lower as well, and this upward sloping trend line. Maybe we'll revisit it at some point in the future. So yeah, the dollar pairing obviously looking good as well. Bitcoin dominance literally just looking like trash, looking like garbage. I mean, to be honest, I don't know whether I would say this has happened quicker than I expected, but I did expect it to pretty much accelerate down pretty quick. Once we break out this consolidation, well, assuming we break to the downside, which I was assuming, and I have been talking about obviously this trend line, this level, this trend line, and these horizontals as well being the target. I mean, that's where we're heading. Looks like we're getting down there quicker, a little bit quicker than I expected. Although, like I said, I did expect it to be quick. And I mean, there you have it. Some other people, some other YouTube analysts, talking about this gonna retrace back up to the 70s. Just I don't know what they're smoking. That's just FUD. That was clearly just FUD. And then here is the egg in their face. I'm sure at one day I'll have egg in my face also, but I just won't be making pointless calls like this is what is going to happen. I mean, you guys would know from watching my videos, I was talking about, look, we're just in a range here. We break out upside, we go up, break down, we go down. I did say I expected it to break down, but people calling this as a bottom and we are going into the 70s, has that been their definitive call? Anyway, just there's no need for me to carry on talking about that. Either way, we are coming down to a level now where we could actually see a significant bounce. And that bounce could literally even take us up to back test these horizontals, this level. I mean, we could maybe draw in a horizontal on here, just seem a little bit significant. But anyway, up to around, we could bounce up to near or in and or around this area, which would be pretty disastrous in the short term for alts. So watch out for the bounce. I think we've got, obviously you can see the levels I'm targeting. We've maybe got a little bit more juice in the tank. But then nothing comes down or up in a straight line, as you guys know. We could be seeing a pullback. So obviously, we need to watch out. We need to be cognizant of that fact. If we do come down there and take out this trend line, then I would expect another bout of acceleration to the downside. And at that point, we will potentially be in free fall. With yeah, I mean, I guess we've got a target here, potential targets, but realistically, guys, it just would be. I mean. Realistically, right, if we do break below this level now and come down, we are looking at coming down to these lows and taking them out, which would be insane, insane altcoin price action, and that would be the alt season of alt. I mean, it would be an alt season akin to this alt season. Maybe this move down we've seen so far is literally like either this bit down here or this bit, and then we've just got a lot to come. Who knows? But as you can see, like I've said, price action meanders. Look, it does what it does. It makes people think we're putting a bottom and we're going back up, and then they get slam dunked on. But yeah, just yeah, guys. I mean, at the end of the day, Bitcoin is a great asset. It is great at what it does, but the crypto market as a whole is evolving. And obviously there is a place for other altcoins and other protocols within this within this sphere, this emergingly accepted, that's not the right words, but either way, just this ecosystem. So they can obviously start taking like big shares out of Bitcoin, as Bitcoin will only keep going up so much, and some of these altcoins will basically expand relative to Bitcoin and drive this lower as the whole industry expands. I mean, it's like we don't just have like one car company anymore, or one company that does one. I mean, to be honest, in some tech things we kind of do, but Bitcoin does lack the monopoly. I don't know. Does lack people actually trying to enforce a monopoly in it, so it's not quite the same. But what I'm saying is that as this ecosystem grows, it may just not be Bitcoin be the be all and end all. That might just be one part of the overall system. Well, it is one part, but I just mean an increasingly smaller one part of the overall system, which does mean that potentially Bitcoin dominance could come down to this 35% level and lower. And yeah, there'll be Bitcoin maximalists out there, which are just people that are just idiotically set in their ways, because you can't just make predictions and expect things especially in cryptocurrency. You just get your ass handed to you too many times. If you have that perspective on things, and be rigid about what you are doing. You just have to look at the price level. So like I said, I'm expecting a big bounce here. Maybe the bounce could, if it gets going, could take us, we'll extend this along, could just take us back to the top of the top of this channel, and then we still trade sideways in it, and then maybe sideways, but still trade within it and then come downwards again. Or like I've said, if we take out this level, then there's no real levels, then we're looking for a new low. Yeah, we're looking to come and reach these lows and then take out these lows. I mean, that's how I do things. A Bayesian inference model, you just assimilate the information as it comes in, and then just make a decision based on the new, most up-to-date information that you have, not making decisions based on just preconceived ideas that you had when you had less information, because you had less price action, because those ideas were conceived at an earlier point in time than the present. So anyway, stock market is looking good. Stock market's onwards and upwards here, looking good. Maybe we get a pullback and a bounce off this horizontal spot. Maybe just continue on upwards. We kind of know how markets are, up the escalators, down the elevator shaft. So it will come all of a sudden and pretty sharpish, and then all of a sudden will reverse and continue upwards. So just got to monitor that. What else did I want to look at? I wanted to look at the DXY as well. DXY is looking good for coming to try and take out this level. Obviously we're getting a bounce off this, this is a daily line actually. But if we go over to the 4 hour, I believe we got a bounce off a 4 hour. Yeah, no, we didn't really, to be honest. There was the 4 hour 9, held up price action sideways pretty much though, but now we are looking to take out that 9 and potentially continue on downwards. And then once we lose this, we fully and formally go, once we lose this horizontal, these lows here, I think we fully and formally go medium term bearish again in the DXY, and then all sorts of good things will be coming for all sorts of assets at that point. Silver looking constructive here. Excellent. There we go, silver. I mean, you can see it's been a lot of sideways chop since we got to $30 a couple of times. I mean, if we probably want to look at this in a larger time frame so you can kind of just see just the sideways action going on here. Basically, we have got this basically these price levels. Eventually we'll break either to the upside or to the downside. My bias is to the upside, but I'm not about to say that's where we are definitely going. But yeah, bias is to the upside, but then we'll have a markup in this and have a high value relationship form, probably around $50 if we were to go that way. If we come down, I mean, they were coming down to basically about $17. But do I see that? No. 10 year coming off a bit, as you can see. Lost this horizontal. Currently back testing it. Are we going to get rejected and come back down to the next one? Keep an eye on it, and we shall see. Or do we get back above hold and then bounce back on upwards? One last thing, yeah, gold. Gold back into our box here. Once we get above here, potentially this can start to look good for some upward price action. I personally was accumulating this asset basically around, obviously, when I basically said we're realistically targeting a level, move back up to here, and then also again around here, but not in these markets though. The actual real stuff. So yeah, stochastics, how are they looking? How are they? We did say stochastics on the 4, 10 and 12 hour were looking like they were going to be a drag on price action yesterday, and it does seem that they have been a drag on price action. 4 hour coming down, but still got plenty of room to run down. 10 hour will clearly have it's always a 10 hour that takes a while to load. 10 hour will clearly have a lot of room to run down, which now I can see we can see that it has. 10 hours got room to run down. 12 hours turn back over, and has got room to come down also. Daily has now turned over as well. So in this pretty much 4, 10, 12 and daily, 2 days probably still looking okay. I think everything above is probably still looking okay. Well, even 3 day turned down now actually, and 5 day actually. But yeah, like I've said, we are basically, I think, looking for the next catch point, and we are just playing it horizontal by horizontal. Like I've said, we could come very easily as deep as 52,000, and still not look so bad, and that could be where we get picked up again. We are playing with big numbers here. We are playing with lots of you could say, well, I don't know how big a percentage or what impact they are, but lots of relatively inexperienced people as well that have all of a sudden made a lot of money in this market and other markets, that are throwing that about. So we could see moves down to wherever to mess with those guys' melons. But yeah, either way, we'll just be playing it level by level. Next target 60k, 58k, 55k, 52k. We're just going to see where price settles, consolidates, and then turns back up from. So that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.